Hello friends, welcome to Salesforce Cinematics video session 257. So in the previous series, we covered about the product lifecycle. In this particular new series, I will be bringing you about a new concept, about a new table, and we will deal with the customer engagement lifecycle. So firstly, let me show you the four tables which we are going to deal with. In my previous series, we dealt with three tables. We understood the different business questions and we answered those by writing the proper SAQL statements. Here we'll be dealing with one more extra table. There will be four tables, but the topic will be all about customer engagement lifecycle. Firstly, let me show you what are the four tables which we'll be dealing with. The first one is the customer master. As you can see, it contains the CID and customer name. Then we have something called as the orders table. Now here in the customer master, there exist four customers, C1, C2, C3, C4, with the corresponding names being Alice, Bob, Charlie, and Diana. Now here orders, it exists the orders amount. We have specific CID corresponding to their orders amount. Here, this particular table customer master represents more of an authority, like the proper official customer which exists. Orders is more related to the transactions. It relates to the commercial activity and it represents the total amount of purchase which each particular CID did. The support tickets cares more about the intent and less about the authority. It cares more about the issues which the particular customer face. So here we have the CIDs and the corresponding case count, the number of complaints which each of this CID has. Then we have something called as the marketing leads, which basically it's not an official customer, you can say. It's just an interest. Maybe someone just showed an interest to a particular product. So that is more of a marketing leads for me. There can be different campaigns through which we can get those leads. So each of those CID has their corresponding campaigns. Some customers showed interest by clicking on certain products, which they have seen it via their mail. Someone might have seen via a webinar which they attended. Someone might have seen an ads and they have clicked on a particular product. Now, these are the four tables. And finally, after these four tables, I have one table which is completely mapping everything, whatever I've created right now. So these are the four tables which I'm going to upload in my Salesforce Cinematics org, which I have already done. That is something I'm not going to explain you. That is something which I've already shown you in the last series. And definitely I expect you to upload this kind of CSV file. These are the files which I've created on Google Sheet. You can always go to File. You have this option of download and you can download it as an .csv file. Because in Salesforce Cinematics, you can upload the .csv file. Once you save it, then you can just upload that. The data are like hardly 4 or 5 rows. So I want you to watch this video and just prepare this particular Google Sheet. Okay. Now, with these four tables being there, I have just created one more table for an explanation purpose. This won't be uploaded, of course. This is more done to help you get a complete recap of whatever things have been created and to help you understand the business reality in a much more better way. So I have this customer engagement lifecycle. Now, I already spoke about the four tables which I have: the customer master, orders, support cases, and marketing leads. When you are uploading the file, ensure you give this particular names as well, which has been done in my case. What are the tables involved? I will mark this particular table as A, the customer master, which actually shows all the customers which exist officially. Now, these are the customers which are verified and which definitely are approved as well, maybe by the management team of that particular organization, who can definitely help them to run those business. These are the customers which will definitely keep on purchasing some kind of products, even if it's an old one, even if it's a new one, which might come up in the future. And these are the customers which that particular organization definitely cares about. They have verified those people as well as they officially exist in the system. This order tables, which is the B1, it basically shows the people who have purchased. It's more like a transactional table, which shows the transaction which has been done. Then we have the support cases, which logs the complaints of the customers, the people who have raised issue related to certain products they have been using from that particular organization. Then we have a table called as the marketing leads, which shows the people who have shown interest. You can categorize these people as leads and you can categorize this particular table as customer. I have also mapped down what is the difference between a lead and a customer, but in a short way, I can just tell you it's the people who have shown interest in purchasing your products, but they have not particularly purchased a product or they have not particularly shown interest in terms of purchasing the products. Like I might have seen a particular advertisement where I liked a particular shirt. However, I just liked that shirt and shown interest, but I nowhere came close to purchasing that shirt. Maybe, giving my credit card details or maybe just speaking to that customer executive to kind of give me an EMI. Of course, for a shirt, you never might need an EMI, but I hope you understand the purpose. Like it can also be a car where let's say I might just speak to an executive and go for a particular EMI in certain months so that I can finally get that product. So that's the thing about this table. This whole session, this first session of this particular series is all about understanding the business reality behind the data. And that is very important. In the previous series as well, I just focused on one video where it was particularly all about understanding the business data or the business reality behind the data. The reason this is very important, and in this series also, I'm just making this video about it, is because you need to understand the SAQL cogroup which we are learning. It's not only about merging rows, it's also, and it's not just a pure syntax. Of course, it is a syntax, but at the end of the day, what is the outcome? What is the outcome we are achieving by applying this cogroup? It's ensuring which particular table survives, which particular row survives in the final result. That is the whole thing. Now, in real time, definitely this kind of tables might exist in different systems because you need to understand any particular customer or any particular details or tables which are mapped in a system. Those kind of things appear and they evolve over time. So that's why different systems will have different kind of tables. And with CoGroup, we are actually merging those tables to answer the business questions or to get the business scenario which is needed. Now, this is definitely quite common. If you are having certain amount of experience, this is quite common that different tables exist in different systems. Now, finally, with these four tables, I have mapped this final, you can say matrix table where I'm showing like in each of the table, which are the CIDs which are available and which are not, in orders which are the available one, which are not in support cases, and same with marketing leads. Now, looking into these tables, there can be certain FAQs, some questions which might exist in your mind. I have mapped those questions. However, if you have anything different other than these questions, you can also let me know. But let's try to understand certain questions which might just occur in your mind. Why is C5 present in orders but not in customer master? So if you see the orders, which is having the CID C5, but it's not existing in customer master, what could be the reason behind that? Because if these are my official customers, then how come we have certain CID which has purchased but is not in the customer master table? Now, the answer for that is the sale happened, but the official customer record does not yet exist. Sometimes it takes time to upload the official customer records. It's quite common. It happens. Or there can be another reason that, that might not be an official customer, but they might just be a partner. So let's say there's an organization, they have a partner organization, and certain people from that organization purchase that, or it can be a distributor sales as well. Why is C7 present in marketing leads but not in customer master? So you have this C7 which is there in marketing leads but not in customer master. Now this is a very easy answer to this, because a lead is not a customer. It's potential interest, the one thing which I told you, right? It can represent website signups, like somebody saw a particular website and this just signed up without actually purchasing the product. They can be any event that it is, like in today's world, in the online world, we have this webinar where they just attended and they just showed an interest maybe in buying, but they never close, like they never came close to a moment where we can say that they're interested in purchasing that product. Or maybe it was more of an ad click where they clicked that, but after that they didn't go to the checkout portion of that page. Then why is C6 present in customer cases but not in customer master? So we have this C6 which is present in customer case but not in customer master. Now this is quite similar to the previous series as well. And the answer is more or less same, because support system just captures the intent or the issues which the customer is facing, not the authority. They might not be that final customer who are raising the issues. They could be trial users. So whenever you launch a particular product, before releasing it to the market, before releasing it to the public, there can be certain users with which whom you want to test it. So for example, if I'm building a particular course, before selling it in the market and making it publicly official, I might just want certain users. It can be my relatives or friends, to whom I may just take a small charge and just tell them to analyze and go through my course and give me the feedback. So in that way, certain complaints might just come up from them. So that is something which can happen. And there can be certain escalation from prospects. It means actually the same thing, like they are not the official customer but they have shown interest, more or less like a lead also, you can say. Okay. Then, of course, what is the difference between marketing leads and customer master? Like marketing leads are the pre-conversion, it's the post-conversion. Like you have converted them in Salesforce, we store it in the form of opportunity, but the marketing leads, we have the lead object. It can be in high volume because I want a lot of people to come and show that interest. But when it comes to customer master, it's more curated. Like they are the ones who will officially exist, and they are the ones whom I will reach out at a later stage when I release some new products. For example, today if I'm launching this course Salesforce CMatics, at a later stage if I might launch a code called Salesforce admin on, let's say, Salesforce Apex, then I might reach to these people who already purchased my course, who knows me, and then it will be easy for me to sell them those course. Okay, so they exist as a customer, but there will be certain people who just attended, let's say, a 1 hour webinar of Salesforce Analytics, but they never showed an interest. So they will be more of a leads for me. Now, why this is critical in understanding SAQL cogroup? Why I explained you, why I spend this time just to explain you the business scenario? Because you need to remember something. Design is not intentional. I mean, not accidental, but intentional. Because in real system, different data sets own different truth. You will never have one particular data set which will own the complete truth. You will have different data set, because in this particular scenario, different tables is actually helping with different purpose. Okay. And IDs are not guaranteed to be synchronized. Joins are business decision, not syntax. So the core group which I will be writing, it's actually helps us to come to the conclusion of what the business wants, what my stakeholders want. And it's not just about merging the tables, right? That is just a part of it. So as it's mentioned, it's about deciding who is allowed to exist as well, this core group part. And that's why I explained you this complete scenario. Okay. So that's the thing about this. And from the next succeeding sessions, we will go through these different scenarios. I have these 5 scenarios. I will definitely walk one by one and answers each of those questions by writing the SQL. So that was all about this video. If this video has helped you to reset the way you think about data and SQL, then definitely wait for all the succeeding videos which I'll be coming up with, and I will be answering this different scenario based question. I will walk through one by one. We will understand what is the meaning of that business scenario. We will actually map a particular table, and then we will finally solve that by writing the SQL. So that's it about this. Let's meet very soon in our next one. Thank you.